I am so tired and just miserable right now. So let's just get this done, over with as fast as possible. My name's Iain McNeil. I am a pornographer for a career. I don't just do it for fun. You may be wondering, what are some common things that I have to answer? Questions as a pornographer. Number one, I guess it's not really a question, come to think of it. It's more, being a pornographer brings out the inner pervert in everyone as soon as they find out that I work in pornography. Like, oh, so you work for sex.com, which is a great website, by the way. Everybody go check it out. It's free. They're like, oh, so you work for sex.com. Do you, see a lot of, like, yeah, some days I see a lot of that. Like, oh, yeah, cool. That's great. You get any benefits? And just try to resume normal human interaction. The second thing, this is a real question this time, that people ask me all the time is, how many times a day do you masturbate at work? It must be impossible. And, like, I don't think people realize that working in pornography is just like every other job, so, like, twice a day. Once at 9 when I get in, and then again at 9:30. Just, you know, it clears things up. And the third thing about working in the porn industry is you have to choose your words very carefully. Let me explain. Earlier today, I was sitting at my desk, and my co-worker, I wouldn't necessarily call him a friend, but he definitely thinks we're friends. It's really complicated, and I feel really bad just thinking about it. He came up to me and said, hey, Ian, want to get a 12-incher? And I had no idea what he meant. Like, was he talking about Quiznos or Subway? And I just felt so uncomfortable answering that question. I just forgot about it. My birthday's coming up in October, so mark it on your calendars. No. Shut up. I really don't like my birthday because I know exactly what I want. Pedro, this one's for you. What? That's your name? Okay, thank God that I'm not just being blatantly racist and people. Yeah, the Mexican guy, his name Pedro. I know exactly what I want, but no one ever gets it for me. And I'll tell you what exactly I want. What I want is, I saw it in New York City one time. Coolest, hippest part of New York City. Only the locals hang out there. It's called Times Square. It's gorgeous, it's great, so many lights. And I was just walking through and I saw this gun bomb sitting on a table. And I don't know if you guys have the same thing. Maybe it's just me, but for me, whenever I see a gun-shaped object, I have this weird impulse where I just want to put it in my mouth and pull the trigger. And so, you know, a few of you know that I like to get into green stuff. And so I asked the guy, like, oh my God, this is a work of art. Like, this is amazing. How much is it? And he just looked at me and said, hey, I'm walking here. Because, you know, New York. Stupid. I know, I'm so stupid. Just by a show of hands, like, who's been to prison? I'm talking about, like, real jail, Natalie, also. like doing time. Anybody? Okay, thank God, because you would just kill me if you all had been to prison. No, I feel like I would do very well in prison, even though I'm like soft and girlish and like very easily scared and like exactly worth one pack of cigarettes. Like, in spite of all that, I feel like I would rule prison, and let me explain to you why. I was leaving the Sex.com Christmas party, which was a blast, by the way. I was leaving the Sex.com Christmas party with 3 of the French programmers from France. And this doesn't really have anything to do with the story, but it's important that you all know this. They don't know that I understand and speak French fluently. Again, not relevant to the story. I just want you all to know how comfortable I am living a lie with people I have to see every single day. So we get into a cab, go home, because we have to leave St. Henry sometime. And everything's going fine, regular cab ride, nothing to talk about, until halfway through an intersection we stop, and I look up, and oh, it's a red light, and oh, that's oncoming traffic coming directly at me. So thankfully, with lightning fast reflexes, the cab driver throws it into reverse, peels back through the intersection, and hits a cop car. And then the light turns green, and we keep driving. No big deal. The cop is livid, as you can imagine, but the cabbie doesn't care. He keeps cruising. And finally, we get pulled over, and the cop comes over, and the cab driver rolls down the window, and the first thing that he says, cop has yet to utter a word, cab driver goes, I already have a ticket, you can't give me another one. And oh God, I wish that's how law works. That would be just the best. Like, oh yeah, no, you can't arrest me, I killed someone earlier today. It's stupid. Anyways, so, you know, license and registration, please. Like, regular pulling over. And the cab driver, you know, slowly but surely decides to come around. But the way he reaches for his license looks more like reaching for a knife or a gun. So the cop, you know, doesn't like that because cops don't get shot. Or they don't like to. They get shot all the time. But they really don't like it. Don't even try. So he puts his hand on his gun, ready to pull it. And it's about the time when I realize that the meter's still running. Oh no. I am going to get shot in the head, and it's going to cost me an extra $40. Just the worst evening of my life. So finally, yeah, license and registration, please. I'm sitting in the front, so the cab driver reaches over past me and opens the glove box. And inside the glove box, I see a half-full bottle of vodka. And I think, that's weird. You don't usually keep your booze right there. The cop walks back to the car, and the cab driver turns to me, kind of like this. I didn't run that red light. Which, technically, he didn't. He stopped in the middle of the intersection, so what's the problem? And it's when he turned over to me where that is exactly the point where I located the other half of the vodka right there sitting beside me. Like, this is a bad idea. But sure enough, the cop comes back, gives him the ticket, no incident. We drive home through literally like every red light on Sherbrooke Street. And thankfully, like the French programmers live way out on, like near Olympic Stadium, and I live like, yeah, no, of course, you have every reason to laugh. Like a terrible area to live. I thankfully live up here like a normal person, so I get off at Sherbrooke Park, gonna take the park bus up, and I turn back to the three French programmers with this big smile, like, well, guys, see you Monday. Maybe. When I got home, finally, I told my roommates this story, like, guys, you're not going to believe what happened. Like, I was in a car with a drunk cab driver, and it was crazy. And they said, well, what is the matter with you? You put the whole city of Montreal in danger, letting this cab driver on the loose. You put your coworkers in danger, you put yourself in danger. Why did you do that? And I would like to remind you that the whole point of the story is that I would do very well in prison because I did not snitch. And there it is. Good night, everyone.